Hi everybody, Scott here from the Introvert Power channel. In this video I'm going to talk about INFJ sensitivity. Now it's one of the taglines I guess a lot of INFJs are given, being sensitive, but I think in a way that's the way that sensitivity is understood is a misunderstanding. I think a lot of people think of it as like a weakness, like they're oversensitive, or they're too sensitive and things like this. The reason for the sensitivity is a lot of it has to do with the cognitive functions, in that that the intuition, that introverted intuition, just enables the INFJ to pick up a huge amount of subtleties in its environment, or in their environment, and from that subtlety, or those subtleties that get picked up, are then sort of filtered through extroverted feeling, so that like the extroverted feeling part of the INFJ also has a sensitivity, if you like, to picking up the nuances of an environment or a person or a situation. And then the introverted thinking also is able to kind of really tease apart in kind of micro detail again the environment, the situation, and so on. So it's like an ability to be sensitive, to pick up all the subtleties and develop a narrative, if you like, from all of those subtleties that is often very accurate. That frequency that the INFJ is able to pick up is internal. It's part of who they are. It's like an internal map that's able to pick up all of these sort of micro messages, if you like. It's sort of within the INFJ. So because an INFJ is able to pick up a whole nuance of the emotional spectrum, that means they're also susceptible to experiencing that whole range of emotions within themselves in any given situation. And I think it's that causes people to call INFJs sensitive or too sensitive. But I think it's first an ability, a skill that INFJs can have and can develop. But because of that skill and ability, they're also vulnerable to experiencing, I guess, the subtleties of pain in their lives, because they're able to pick it up in others. So you could say that it's an ability, not a weakness, and that INFJs have maybe similar to INFPs and other the other NF types, that there's a greater threshold to experiencing the depths of emotion that are in other people and in the world. And there's both a greater capacity to experience those emotions, but there's also an equal threshold to be able to feel them, if you like, to be able to survive them, manage them. So an example of INFJ sensitivity, at least in the way I'm describing it in this video, is, let's say somebody has a career choice or has a situation going on in their lives, and they sit down with someone for an hour and just sort of talk it out. Most people will pick up just the general themes of what's being said, and may say something like, and I'm oversimplifying as I say this, but might say, you've been talking about it for an hour now. It sounds like it's something that you're interested in. Just go off and do it. And that might be true on that level. INFJs in that situation will be picking up all of the subtle messages, the subtle emotions, picking up the pattern, what's being said, how it's being said, the order of being said. Just be picking up the nuances of feeling, even picking up what they're trying to say but can't. Maybe picking up what they don't want to say, all of these sorts of things. So an INFJ might listen to this conversation and respond and say, look, it sounds like you're angry with your ex, and they said you couldn't do it, that you weren't going to be very good in a career like that, and so you're angry with them for saying that, and now you're wanting to go off and do that career to try and prove them wrong and prove yourself right. And it's quite possible that while you still like this career, doing it from that position or with that motive may cause some negative consequences for you, and that you might want to just look at that. If any of that's true, you might just want to look at that. Often what happens is, if that is true, if that's actually truth that the INFJ is picking up, the other person, what often happens in a situation like that is they are actually saying that. They just don't know they're saying that. It's like they need that deeper narrative to sort of kind of rise to the surface for sort of clearer investigation. But it's like, for the INFJ, it's like it's flipped around. Like the subtleties and the depth below are here, but everybody speaks about this stuff up here. So when the person's speaking about these sort of broad themes up here, the INFJ is picking up the deeper narrative and the subtleties of what's going on underneath, and kind of, you could say, flip the script, flips it upside down and says, hey, let's look at this narrative that you're saying underneath here. And you'll find, if you're an INFJ and you're sort of trying to develop this part of you, that when you say that, you'll know very quickly whether you're speaking truth or not, because you'll probably get like a lot of nods, or they'll be silent, kind of just absorbing and processing what you're saying, because it's like they're adjusting to the reality of their narrative that they are saying that they don't know they're saying. Now, it's really important that it gets checked out and put out as a curiosity or a wondering for the other person to either accept or reject it. So it's not about manipulation and trying to create a narrative. It's really saying, I'm picking up this. Is this narrative, or what I'm picking up, is it accurate? Is it correct? Take it or leave it. If it's truth there and they're open to it, they're just going to take it on board and process that. And it's important for the INFJ to then leave them to process it further. I think part of the INFJ area of misunderstanding with the script that I was talking about is the INFJ's script is all of the subtle nuances, and INFJs like to share on that level in the real world, and that's often why they're feeling missed in the world, is because they're sharing this deeper narrative as a popular narrative, although nobody recognizes it, because a lot of people at least are choosing the more I guess just popular narrative that's and like the obvious causalities, the sort of logical stream. And so that's often why INFJs are feeling missed, because they're sharing their subtleties of what they notice in a narrative. So I hope that makes sense. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on INFJ sensitivity. I welcome your comments and appreciate it if you'd share the video, get it out there if it's resonated with you, and like the video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content, and I'll see you in another video.